Da-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na, da-na-na. Avengers! Assemble. Welcome back to the Struggle Session Podcast. I am your host, Hollow Otaku. And with me, as always,
K1.
Wow.
Y Squared. And Hollow Otaku. This is a different type of podcast. So, as Phase 4 is coming, with Black Widow to be announced, or to be determined to come out, we kind of wanted to test mine and K1's knowledge of the MCU, kind of, and Bob and Y Square has some questions on the MCU that wants to be answered, and we're going to try to answer our best, and that's what's going to be. So I open the floor to you guys. What are your questions that we can try to answer that confused you or something?
Like how did it all begin? Like where is like if you were to let's say like intro yourself into the Marvel series and following the story, and if you want to try to get into as chrono order as possible, like where do you start?
Iron Man 1. It starts all with Iron Man 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll go Iron Man 1. Actually, technically, no, it does not start with Iron Man 1. It starts with Captain America, the first Avenger. Mm-hmm. If you're doing this in chronological order, it starts with Captain America. Then it goes to Captain Marvel. Then Iron Man. But somewhere in the middle of that is also Black Widow. Because Black Widow, when Black Widow was introduced in Iron Man 2, her whole, what was that organization she was in? It's like on the top of the Red Room.
Yeah.
That whole entire thing took place in her own movie, which took place in the past. Because in Endgame, spoiler, she does die. So it's not a continuation of Black Widow. It's going to be in the past where she destroys all of the Red Room.
And we get Taskmaster introduced. So there's still hope for Taskmaster in the future, but you're going to be seeing him in the past.
But yeah, you'll start with Captain America, then Captain Marvel, then Iron Man.
And then when Black Widow comes out, Black Widow.
Yeah.
Before Iron Man.
Now, if you want to do a chronological order of when the movies came out, Iron Man 1.
All right. Gotcha.
I guess I haven't really looked at Phase 4 all that much, so what else is planned, I guess, just besides Black Widow?
Okay, so we know from the last Spider-Man movie that they are planning a number 3, and it just got announced that it has been delayed again due to Corona.
Well, yeah, the Corona.
Yeah.
But the rumors are flying, so with everything that's been going on recently, not just the virus, but mainly with all the teasing, it seems that not only just Sony has plans for Spider-Man, but the MCU, of course. So the rumor is, because Tom Hardy wants it, Tom Holland wants it, and everyone wants it, is this is supposed to somehow cross over between the Sonyverse and the MCU, and we're supposed to get Venom and Spider-Man in the third Venom movie. So according to what I've seen and heard, so take this with a grain of salt, the rumor is the next movie, Morbius, is supposed to lead into both Venom 2 and Spider-Man 3. Now,
God, Mobius was coming out.
Yes, it's actually coming out it's in March of 2021. They just moved that day. So, so here's a little rumor that they have floating around in the movie, is that Morbius is supposed to get in the same jail as the supposed rumored Sinister Six and Cletus Cassidy. So technically Rikers, or San Quentin, I think it was.
I think it's Rikers.
Yeah, okay. So the rumor is Morbius helps cause a jailbreak that gets the Vulture and the Scorpion out, and then also Cletus Cassidy. So that sets up the two movies and somehow mixes the universe. Because then Tom Holland and Tom Hardy have also rumored to be talking to each other, and the main thing is that they want is a complete symbiote god in the third movie. So that's what mainly is happening on the Spider-Man end.
Now, on a different part, Doctor Strange 2, Thor 4, and who's the other one?
As Guardians of the Galaxy?
Not that too, but there was a new one, new guy. Asian one.
Oh, Shang-Chi.
Yes, that's introducing the 10 rings.
And the Mandarin.
I thought
Yes.
you were about to say
So-
Shang's son. I was like,
No. Which is actually supposed to lead up. So Avengers, Avengers 5 is actually what has been rumored and I think a little bit leaked is what was it? The Conqueror.
King the Conqueror.
Yeah. That is supposed to be the next major villain for the MCU. It's not going to be Galactus until we get the Fantastic Four into this.
Yes, because it's also rumored that the actual directors have been talking about making a Captain America series where it shows what he did during the time travel. So that would be the perfect way, because technically King the Conqueror, if you don't know from the comics, comes back because of a time anomaly caused by Captain America surviving the 70 years frozen in ice. And then comes back because this time anomaly causes his wife to go into a stasis, and the only way he can fix his wife is to stop Captain America from actually living for those 70 years. So technically, Captain America going back in time to put the Infinity Stones, but also living his life with Peggy Carter, marrying her, having kids, that could be the anomaly that allows King the Conqueror to come into the main universe.
Essentially, Captain America fucked up.
Yes.
He fucked up and he didn't listen to the rules and he made his own rules. As usual. Even though he's a stickler for the rules. But Black Widow, of course, is going to be a pretty cool movie, just like how Captain Marvel was. They are rumored to do Captain Marvel 2. A little fun fact, Brie Larson, who plays Captain Marvel, wants to play Samus in a Samus live-action movie.
She could work it.
yeah, that.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
I'm down for that. Yeah.
But they're also saying that Captain America is coming back, which people keep thinking it's Chris Evans, but it might be Anthony Mackie as Falcon. Did I say his name right? Is it Anthony?
Yeah.
Anthony Mackie, you're right.
Yeah.
You said it right.
Yeah, but also remember,
That's also got delayed too. Falcon and the Winter Soldier has been delayed as well. Same thing with Loki and WandaVision.
But that's another thing, is when Madness of the Multiverse happens, that's another thing that they could see Captain America and Tony Stark return. Because if you're going through the multiverse, you're going to end up with a multiverse where technically Tony Stark survived when Captain America died, and vice versa. But also, this would be a perfect way, which everybody keeps saying is the best way to introduce the X-Men and Fantastic Four into the universes.
Wow.
Just through the multiverse.
So that, they can integrate the 20th Century Fox, merging with Disney.
And we get Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine.
He did say he wanted to come back if it was made by someone else.
That's dope. It's one of those things.
You have perfect actors that plays the perfect role in a movie.
Yeah, Wolverine.
Like
and,
Wolverine,
Tony Stark.
Mhm.
You can't.
Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds can never be replaced.
Like that was a perfect fit. There are some worse ones. Also, Green Lantern, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, he rebounded from that shit.
But if you just think about it, plus there's also very small rumors. According to what they've said, Black Panther 2 is looking to introduce Namor, but
no, it is actually a fact that they are because of what happened in Endgame.
Oh, the Atlantean?
Yes.
When what's her face from Black Panther was talking to Black Widow. Sorry guys, I'm very bad with names today. It is very late. I could just get the mainstream people. Was saying that there was an earthquake underwater, which would lead to Namor. So that's good. That kind of show that it's gonna go towards that for Black Panther 2.
But
which is a low nod that the Russo brothers kind of added in.
But also because the rumored title was supposed to be called Black Panther: The Two Kings. There is that's what got it started with Namor, but now we know that there's a good chance. But also they say
Killmonger can come back.
Killmonger?
Well, yes.
They said Michael B. Jordan's coming back as Killmonger for the second movie. So
Down.
right, but then there's also the rumor that it also might introduce Doctor Doom. Because technically, think about it.
he is his own ruler.
He went back to Liberia and conquered it to turn it into his dictatorship. Because technically, we all got to remember, Doctor Doom's greatest power isn't his control of metals and all that. It's technically he cannot be arrested because of diplomatic immunity.
Yeah.
So technically,
But
two kings could be perfect.
His weakness, 20th Century Fox.
Yes.
Got another question? We kind of went on a tangent on that one.
That was a great question. I asked.
Yeah, I was
That
gonna-
wasn't. That was,
You,
I was
you
not
can like
thinking
interject
of
on whatever.
Each wave like of Marvel build, like, is there like a common theme for wave
So phase 1 was all about assembling.
phases? Okay.
Second one was like essentially like outcomes of their own actions.
Mm-hmm.
Third phase was
I'd say
separate. I would say separation.
so. Technically,
Third phase would be
Civil War.
separation, and the separation / coming together again, bringing the cycle back into a circle. And then phase 4 is the new circle that's like a Venn diagram.
Right.
That there's going to be a center cause that we don't know yet without watching the films of knowing, I guess, a new order that's going to centralize because of a reason in this middle of the Venti circle.
Okay.
So right now it's trying to form a Venti circle between like 4 and 5
Mm-hmm.
that we don't know what's happening next. We just only have speculations and rumors. But like there's a main cause, and I think that main cause is Captain America's time travel.
Right.
So this is going to be a fixer-upper. Like you need to fix this man's mistakes.
But also, when I just remembered, is that Loki plays a factor. Because remember, Loki escaped from their when they went back to the past, and Loki took the Space Stone and disappeared.
He
So
made another timeline.
yeah, but
which
that's
is supposed
another
to be
thing.
Loki's show. Is that timeline? What happens to Loki in that alternate timeline? That was essentially an endgame to start the Disney Plus show Loki, and that was what it was supposed to show: is his life going through all of that.
But also, now that the time has passed, because I do remember something else, is that thanks to that timeline, they technically could build another universe that could connect later down the line. Because remember what they said, all the series will be in the MCU. So this Loki timeline is going to definitely lead to Blade, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and then Miss Marvel so far. So, and then of course...
And then the Eternal, or...
And then, of course, they did say they're thinking about bringing in the Defenders into the MCU because they already rumored that the guy Charlie Cox who played Daredevil in
he's supposed
Netflix,
to come back.
he's supposed to be in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, he's supposed to be his lawyer.
Yeah, they're saying that's going to be the best way to bring Charlie Cox back in.
But I don't know if they're keeping the other 3. So that's a big one.
Well, they said it depends because they said it has to be a certain year when they actually ended. Daredevil was first, then Iron Fist, then Luke Cage, then Jessica Jones because she was the only one who got a season 3.
That was
Especially
I
when
mean,
it got-
she's not the only one that got season 3. Daredevil has a season 3.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
The
Well,
others
yeah,
have a season 2. She's the second one to get it.
right. But she's going to be the last one.
Defenders.
'Cause I think,
All your Netflix
Because
heroes
what?
into one,
I think-
and Iron Fist.
I think talking to you guys like a couple of years ago, you guys were saying like Iron Fist was trash,
Oh, Iron Fist first season was garbage.
and I feel like I think
That's because they were going off Heroes for Hire. So listen, the only thing I will say when it comes to the first season, the choreography was good. The thing was they just made Danny Rand too freaking nice.
No. Danny Rand's supposed to be a calm person, but he let his emotions go through. I know it's like him still being trained because he didn't actually officially get the power, but he's a whiny little bitch.
Yeah, sadly.
That's essentially what he is, and the reason how Defenders came was because of his fucking dumbassness.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was like, oh the hand, we need to stop him. No, Danny, you need to learn and like listen to others. No, I gotta do this on my own. And he fucks up. And that's how Defenders work.
That's true. And then like the villain for Defenders, which mainly was sadly a no-name for the Hand, but then became Elektra. It was like, all right, you guys could have did bigger. I mean, in season 2, when they actually introduced, Scorpion, that was smart. And then, of course, those different types of chi, which honestly, that's what we needed for the first start. But then how he passes the chi on like an STD to everybody, that's another thing that's like thing. But then, of course, that also kicks up for Daughters of the Dragon and so forth and so on. But, I don't think that's going to work anymore. But however, it's like, I don't think the first season was, like, garbage, but it was, like, it could have been better. But the only thing that got, like, he technically got hated because people were mad that he wasn't Asian. When we all know Danny Rand is a white guy in the comics. So that's that. There's that piece of shit you got to deal with.
Stupid.
Misguided rage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're raging at, thematically correct character.
Mm.
Shut up.
But yeah, so they're gonna tie it up.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting how they put all of that junk together.
It's gonna take a long fucking
It
year.
is gonna be.
Hey, there's money to be made. It don't matter how long it takes.
When there's a coronavirus, there's no money to be made.
Unless you're a billionaire, Jeff Bezos made $13 billion in one day.
In
So did
one
toilet paper,
day?
so-
One day.
Yeah.
What the? Oh my god.
Yeah. Got any more?
The Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
How? I mean, like, what was I'd say the inspiration? Not the inspiration behind Infinity Stones, but what? Is there like a second meaning behind the saga with the Infinity Stones?
Like, what do you mean? Like, if there's a different story to go with it? Why Thanos wants it? Or, like, what's so important about them?
Yeah, because I know, like, he seeks out to get the stones, and then one snap, and then solves this supposed like lack of resources across the universe by
They don't-
wiping out.
They don't tell you much on the MCU as much. We just know that he likes to take over things and wipe out half that population.
But
And then he goes to different planets to do that, and he has this fixation on symmetry. But like in comics, it's because he's trying to get with death, the living embodiment of death.
i.e., he was simping for death.
Yeah.
So he was just simping for death and just basically be like go on
He wanted to
a
press-
having spree.
He wanted to press her by taking rid of half of the whole entire universe.
Yeah.
What a butthole.
Just to get with her. But the funny part is, Death doesn't like Thanos. She loves Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew that.
So technically, comparing it in the comics, he's just simping for death. In the MCU, he just has an obsession with symmetry. So technically, he has OCD.
Yep. They don't go much on the MCU.
Yeah.
He just has a problem.
Yep.
And then he realizes his problem is dumb.
Yeah.
So who?
So he's being a
I
child.
guess what kind of
Yeah.
less of a mainstream hero or villain did you want to be introduced into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Like I guess in like Phase 5 or something.
Like not at the top tier, like popular ones, or just
No, I said not as mainstream.
Okay. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah.
Clarify. Fuck man, Moon Knight.
I'm guessing.
Destiny already announced.
I'm going with Howard the Duck because literally his one cameo and then he was in Endgame. If you check very in the way back,
Yeah.
it's just like I want to know what he's been doing this whole time. And let's call it the last Howard the Duck movie sucked ass. So
Well, I
he
kind of
needs a
explained what
return.
happened to him in Howard the Duck in his movie.
Right,
when he got
but-
abducted.
Right, that's what I mean. But like, come on, that is the full story, and you could make it as funny as Guardians of the Galaxy. So trust me, that would make money. So I would love to see another Howard the Duck movie done right this time.
It's the
Well, I know Moon Knight's announced. Let
Duck.
me see if I can think of another B-lister I wanted to see. Oh. Yeah, man, where's that Gambit movie?
Oh, that
my
thing's been
God.
that thing has
That's
been
been
rumored
up
for.
in the air so many times.
Boy, we were still
They
in college
hate
when
that
that first was rumored.
Gambit Origins, man.
They hate that boy. I swear.
Dude, Channing Tatum was supposed to play him, and then they just flip-flop every time. It's like Jonah Hill's weight.
Ugh.
He's either fat or skinny. Make up your mind, Jonah Hill. But I also love you.
Beach.
So if Channing Tatum doesn't end up playing, who would you like to see play?
Well, it has to be a French guy. That's one thing. You can't
It
get.
doesn't really have to be, because actors can actually,
Right,
do
but I want to.
voices. I.e. in Letterkenny, the guy who plays McMurray does amazing, accents.
Right, but I just come on. If you're gonna get we know Gambit is French, get a French actor, okay?
French Montana, let's go.
Okay.
Not French.
God. Just hear him in the piss me off. No, I mean it's just they have especially with the fucking money they make, they got
Yeah,
coaches and
come
stuff,
on. Which French actor is not gonna jump at the chance to play Gambit? Come on, rogue, badass, throws literal energy cards. He's just literally a dick in almost most things. So
Yeah, it depends on the director and producer and all that, and the casting director.
that is true.
So it's all on them and the agents that needs to send them out to so-called stuff.
More likely than not, he'll turn out to be a Chad anyways.
Oh, God.
I guess I'll shoot you guys a question real quick. Nothing on your info, just your opinion. If you could change one of the actors in any of the MCU of main characters, not villains, just main, the good guys, who would it be and who would you change it to?
It's a tough question.
I swear to God, if you say Tom Holland, Spider-Man needs to be changed, you guys are out of here.
I mean,
That man is a national treasure, and we all love him.
Yeah. National leaguer. I mean, what?
So is Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Did anyone tell Mark Ruffalo that he's famous too?
They're just so fitting with their roles. They fit their roles so well. I couldn't find a proper replacement. I mean, they adapted their personalities so well to the character that they play. It's almost indistinguishable. You'd have to. A good replacement would have to impersonate to a T basically the actor that they be impersonating.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I couldn't really pick a substitute actor for I guess most if not all the heroes on it's set.
Well,
Okay, then I'll shoot a different question if you can't think. If you could choose a different villain in any of the MCU movies, what villain would you replace? With that character's villain's supposed to be. You could change Loki's to to anyone, in Thor or something,
Okay.
You change a Spider-Man villain that was in MCU with a different Spider-Man villain. Instead of, Vulture as the first one, you can be oh, the Lizard,
Yeah. That's just stupid. That's, along with, I guess, the Goblin theme, I was I'm kind of interested, I guess, in the Hobgoblin, but place.
Oh, don't get me into a tangent. Please don't get me into a tangent.
What?
The Hobgoblin's supposed to be in Spider-Man 3, but they freaking changed it to the new Goblin, and I freaking hated it.
I didn't know that.
From Tobey Maguire's thing, because it was all leading up to Hobgoblin, but no, it was the new Green Goblin. What the fuck?
Yeah, that would have been nice. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, because Harry Osborn's supposed to be the Hobgoblin.
It just made him later.
Because it was leading to it.
Sure.
Fighting everything, getting the gas, but then he just became the new Green Goblin. Just put fucking sunglasses on and called it a costume.
and a metal mask.
Yeah, I mean.
At least he's wearing a mask.
Yeah, it was Hobgoblin, I guess, replacing. Did it? Because I guess rattling off some of the villains and Green Goblin would replace that.
We changed the Mandarin to someone else.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god!
I don't know what he was doing. I'm gonna take out the Mandarin.
Okay, so
Who would you replace?
So the Mandarin.
No. But who would you? Oh, as an Iron Man villain?
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
So if we're going off this, sheesh, if you're gonna go straight for the Mandarin, who in who became the Melter by the end of the entire movie, I would just take him out and put in the Kingpin because you had the perfect setup for Armor Wars. Like, you could have easily did the Kingpin. If you're going to have, what was that? What was that disease thing?
I don't remember this damn disease.
Alice or whatever.
I really, to tell you the truth, Iron Man 3 was a blur for me. All
That's
I
true.
remember was he had was it Adventure Time watch? No, Dorothy. Frank, it was a limited edition.
Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, Dorothy. No, because I keep thinking Deadpool. It was Dora the Explorer.
Yeah. It's Dora the Explorer.
Was it? Which one? Which watch did Deadpool have? Was that Adventure Time?
I think so.
God, they had two iconic like watches.
Mm-hmm.
But like, that's all I remember. And the kid. Speaking of that kid was in Endgame.
Ironheart.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that kid.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was Loki because, you know, it was a midnight showing. I was dead tired and I really thought, why would Loki be here?
Well, sadly, after all the crying, you may have not missed it, so.
Well, no, my first thing was, who the fuck is this kid? That was the first thing because I was like, there's them, okay, cool. Who the fuck is that kid?
I kind of knew because then when I saw it, I was like...
And then I watched, this is how I figured it out. I watched Infinity Wars, thought about Iron Man 3, and go... Fuck! I know who it is, and I had to do a mass text about it.
Mm.
Alright, what about you? Who would you sub out?
Who are you talking to?
You.
Me? I told you.
Oh.
Mandarin.
Okay.
Like, that was...
I just, like, for a second randomly imagine Christopher Walken playing Wolverine. I just don't know why.
Oh my god.
Like, just
Yo, I'll pay good money to watch a young Christopher Walken play Wolverine.
It's just like popped into my second. I'm just like, no, I can't do that. Like,
Does he sing like he does in the Jungle?
Oh.
I can't argue with that. Oh man.
Alright, if they rebooted Spider-Man again, who's going to replace Tom Holland?
Christopher Walken.
God.
If it's going to be Christopher Walken, then Aunt May's dead. Like, if we're going by the list of how young Aunt May becomes over the years as the younger Spider-Man comes through, yeah, she's dead.
Nope, she's not dead. She just goes like April O'Neil. She becomes jailbait.
Oh, stop.
Not if Christopher Walken plays it.
I'm just saying, you know, it's just think about it. Ever since all these Ninja Turtle remakes, what do they keep doing? Making April O'Neil younger and younger. Like, literally, in the 90s, she was 20. In the reboot, she was 18. The most recent one, she's 14. It's just like, we got to get a 10-year-old, and I'm just like, nope, we ain't touching that shit.
Oh, man. But yeah, who would you replace?
Tell me why
I just want either Ron Weasley or like or Daniel Radcliffe.
I could not ever see Daniel Radcliffe doing Spider-Man because as soon as he takes off that mask, it's gonna be, wait, you're a wizard, Harry. That's gonna
No,
be so
no.
many things like that.
You're a Spider-Man.
Michael Cera.
Oh my God! Please no, I don't need that more awkwardness. Like Michael Cera would be good, like a Peter Parker before he got bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's Michael Cera's role.
Fair.
Tommy Wiseau as Thanos.
No, guys, I figured out the perfect Spider-Man. Danny DeVito. No, Danny DeVito is Green Goblin. Oh my God.
He could make a good Green
Magnum.
Goblin.
Right.
My pumpkin shooter.
It's just Danny DeVito goes to his Peter Parker, or Spider-Man goes, suicide is badass.
You know, now that I think about it, an actor who could play, wouldn't be like, I guess, completely like factual, but I think Eric Andre with how fucking
Eric Andre is Miles Morales.
Hell no. I was thinking more of Cletus Cassidy. Since that guy
could.
Yeah.
He could.
Like,
he could actually
he
work
definitely
that.
could do that.
He could work that.
It's
I
right
could
up
see
his
that.
alley.
You're still laughing at Danny DeVito?
Tommy Wiseau is Thanos.
Shaq is
I did
Thanos.
not wipe out half the universe.
Oh, hi,
I did
Gamora.
not. Hi, Gamora.
No, come on, Shaq is universe. Get my snapperoonies at Papa John's.
Jesus. Alright, yeah, I got two of them now.
Questions?
No.
Oh,
Schedule replacement, like one of the two substitutions. Jim Carrey as JJJ.
Oh, James
J.
Jonah
Jonah
Jameson?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Okay.
That would be interesting.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, like honestly, Jim Carrey as J. Jonah Jameson, like he would go over the top with that.
Yeah.
So I would love
But
to
you
see.
can't beat J.K. Simmons, though.
He's a menace. He's a menace.
He's got the role right.
Yeah.
Alright, what's your other one?
Shaq as the Hulk.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Wait.
Deep
As
dive.
the Hulk or just as Bruce Banner?
Both.
Oh.
He's a midget and then becomes 7 feet tall. He becomes Danny DeVito and then becomes 7 feet tall.
Jesus.
I can imagine it now. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
You about to catch
Imagine Danny
this
DeVito
camera.
just
Check food.
Transforming into Shaq.
Shazam! Guys, Danny Trejo is Nick Fury.
Yes.
Technically, he's so old he could do that.
Machete.
It's like we brought him together for what? To hold machetes.
Also, guys, Danny DeVito is Deadpool.
That would be amazing.
Danny DeVito as Wolverine.
Actually, Danny DeVito plays everybody. It's a one-man show.
Wait, I meant to
does
say
his
Danny
best Eddie Murphy
Trejo
impression.
as Wolverine.
Who?
Danny Trejo as Wolverine.
He could work.
Yeah,
I
like
think it could work.
literally, if he takes his grindhouse persona and puts it like in Logan, that'd be perfect.
Guys, I'm saying this is the worst thing ever, but Jesse Eisenberg as Professor X.
Oh,
Well, this podcast is over.
yes. That's it.
It's been a wild
Yeah.
ride.
Well, I'm sorry. We
Shave his head off
No,
like Sleep
no.
Tone. Guys, this Struggle Session podcast is not brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is an immersive online experience with everything you expect from a brand new RPG title. It's got amazing storylines, awesome 3D graphics, giant boss fights, PvP battles, and hundreds of never-before-seen champions to collect and customize. I never expect to get this level of performance out of a mobile game. Look how crazy the level of detail is on these champions. DC, so it's a part 2 of Marvel / DC Q&A with Y Square.
Alright, so I want to start. Like, I know that Spider-Man has like a huge variety and array of suits. Like what's the the progression of like his suits? Like, I know he starts with his first one, but like how does it go as time passes?
So as time passes, there's different iterations of Spider-Man. So you get different iterations of suits. But also, just like in real life, as time goes, technology rises. So there's one where, as you look at MCU, Tom Holland, he came from a crappy, hand-me-down suit to Iron Man giving him his suit. And then Iron Man making him another suit. And then it was like an inspiration of, and then his final suit right now, because 3 hasn't come out as of today, because it is 2020. He made his own suit using Tony's technology. So there's one iteration of Tony Stark making his suits. From the beginning of Tom Holland making his suit to Tom Holland with the assistance of Tony Stark to make his final suit. There's other ones like Miles Morales. From the Into the Spider-Verse, he just took Spider-Man's suit and just made it his own.
Yep.
There's Spider-Man 2099 that made a custom suit based on what he has. It's just how basically the writers want it to go. How storyboard goes. Sometimes his suit gets ripped, so he makes a brand new one.
And if I may jump in on this really quickly, there's also the suit made by Reed Richards, which is the negative suit to help him fight in the negative zone and take down Mr. Negative. So he has also the help of Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four. But also you have to remember that he has a bit of the Batman in him, because if you count the separate multiverse where he actually makes Peter Tech, he actually makes multiple suits.
Just like Iron Man.
Right.
His suits. There's also, he has, depending on which comic version you're going through, he does have suits for different villains. And then also there's just, the symbiotic suit that creates Venom. So.
And then you have to remember, sometimes he has to make suits on the fly, like the Boobotic Bagman was when he literally had his suit destroyed, and all he had to do in the trash was dig through to find an old Fantastic Four suit and a bag. So he can come up with stuff on the fly. But
there's also a suit where he's just in his boxers and a mask. That's it.
Like a luchador.
Sure.
We'll go with that.
I say homeless Spider-Man.
I just say free Spider-Man.
There's different iterations. I mean, he
Spider-Man.
made like an Iron Man-esque suit. It was like his Mark II. That kind of gave the Iron Man type look.
Okay. Alright. Following up, I have something about Venom. I hear that, I guess, like his origin story is told a little bit differently between the films and the comics. Like, what, like, on the comic side of things, like, how did Venom originate?
So, Eddie Brock was a photographer for the Daily Bugle.
Mm-hmm.
And so, during that time, Spider-Man had a symbiote. He had the black suit and all. And so he was living his life as there. But Eddie Brock kept going, and it started crashing for him. Like, they found how each different origin story is always different, but it always turns out Peter Parker fucks over Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock thinks it's Peter's fault that this happened, and everything in his life goes down because of Peter Parker, when in real life it's Eddie that messed up, but he's not admitting that someone pointed out his mistakes, and he's just blaming someone, so he goes out. While on the other hand, Spider-Man is fighting off the symbiote, throws it off, and the symbiote sees Spider-Man as the perfect specimen, but it hits Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock gets a bit of the spider powers through the symbiote because it absorbed it. And because of the hatred of Peter Parker and Spider-Man, which are both the same person, Venom became to be, and the hatred for both of them to Peter is like the strongest hatred.
yes, but jumping off that is that, like he said, Eddie Brock uses Spider-Man as a scapegoat for everything.
Well, depending on which one, it is Peter Parker.
Yes, so here's the three things. So based on I'm going to take 3 examples. For the animated origin story, it was, the old Fox Kids cartoon. Eddie Brock literally framed Spider-Man for something he didn't do, and that caused J. Jonah Jameson to put out a reward for Spider-Man's capture because, he's the reason his son got hurt in the crash and stole a rare rock, which was the Venom symbiote. And that's how he first got it. But then his son wakes up and tells him, no, Spider-Man didn't do it. It was the Rhino who did it. Once Jameson finds out, the whole thing is, oh man, Eddie lied to me. So he fires Eddie. And because of that, and then, back in some past episodes, when Eddie was about to expose Kirk Connors as the Lizard, and then finds that, that he lied again, that makes him look bad. And I remember this iconic moment when Eddie's walking home. He says, Spider-Man has cost me my job, my reputation, and then gets to his apartment. He's been evicted. So then, because of all of this, he literally swears to Spider-Man, I will get you the last thing I do. Which leads to the iconic scene where Peter Parker rips off the symbiote and throws it away, saying it's over. But he forgot he went Eddie Brock in the church. Thus, the symbiote falls on Eddie and reveals everything to him, that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And then, we get the iconic line of the strength and, we are poison to you, both Spider-Man and Peter Parker. Thus why we call ourselves Venom. So that's the anime. Now we kick things up
and I'm going to take from Spider-Man 3, sadly. Now, this one was, I do give it a little more because it had a little more drama. And it's the same way. Peter Parker and Eddie Brock are literally competing for like a full-time photographer job. And, Peter's got the Spider-Man, pictures of Spider-Man. I need pictures of Spider-Man. And Eddie literally has nothing. So when it comes close to like J. Jonah Jameson's decision, Eddie takes and photoshops a picture of Black Spider-Man and puts it on, and it's literally one of the biggest news stories on the People. Everybody's reading it. Everybody's like, wow, Spider-Man stole money from a bank robbery. I can't believe he trusted it. And Peter, still being over-controlled by the symbiote, being the dick he is.
More rage. The symbiote gives him the rage in Spider-Man 3.
But the smug attitude
but
as well.
It's more like rage, the negative emotions.
Right.
Going through him.
But then, Eddie gets the job. But then, Peter makes a big scene and tells him, yeah, this is fake. He faked it. And then, of course, Robbie and Jameson compare these pictures and go, shit, you faked it. You're fired.
And then they make a whole news thing about, we were wrong, we're sorry.
Which Jameson has to swallow his pride because, we haven't made a rebuttal in 17 years. And then, on the rebuttal, it says, sorry, Spidey. Loser photographer makes fake image. And of course, we get to the part where he goes to the church and says, I am humiliated. I am nothing. There's only one thing I want. Looks up to God and says, I want you to kill Peter Parker. Which then, of course, leads to, once again, ripping off the symbiote, falling down, which I will say was a very good scene when he literally gets the symbiote, because when he gets the symbiote, it actually integrates into his body, and then you just see him, getting evil into the thing, and then that kind of thing. But then, when you actually see the full Venom suit, it's like, he's skinny as fuck, sadly. So...
Let's jump off before I go on a tangent about Spider-Man 3. What is your next question? Because I have a whole shit ton of things about Spider-Man 3 I really want to say. Well, let's continue.
We're winning a fight between Mysterio and Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Because, to be fair...
To be fair... Are you talking about a death battle or just in comics? A death battle? Doctor Strange. Yes. Definitely, it's because of all the magic he has, and he does have the counteracts of Mysterio. Even though Mysterio can trick everyone, including Nick Fury, he's very skeptical about everything with his illusions. But Doctor Strange has an arsenal, and that's his cape. That cape will recognize that it is not real, and snap him out of it, and then instantly just fucking kill him with a portal. And remember, Doctor Strange's being is connected to the very multiverse. So technically, he could open any multiverse he wanted and use any kind of power. Now, there is a multiverse where Mysterio actually has true magic. Now, that one would actually be a very good matchup, so then we have to question that. But if it's just pure Mysterio, then Doctor Strange has him dead to rights. It's just going to be one Eye of Agamotto. You're done.
Alright. You think it would be possible in the near future that, seeing that Marvel is owned or at least partially owned by Disney?
It is mostly owned by Disney.
It's fully owned.
No. It's only missing one thing, and that's Spider-Man.
Okay.
True.
Because Sony owns Spider-Man. Okay. And they're never going to give those rights up.
After the
so
game,
it is literally 98% owned by Disney. 2% is owned by Sony.
Okay. But you think one day we'll see a Jedi Avenger?
No, they're never going to cross with Lucasfilms.
Okay.
That's two different franchises, and they're never going to cross over. But there is what if, so it is possible. Yeah. But in comics, not in live action or cartoon.
I mean,
there's jabs at it in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And just as you saw in the MCU with Spider-Man Homecoming, they were building a Lego Death Star. So, I mean,
maybe cartoons, but that's way down the line because, now, knowing Disney and their animated run, they did Phineas and Ferb mixed with Marvel, and they are really pushing hard for more Star Wars animated. So
maybe later down, way down the future, once this pandemic rolls up, they'll put thought into it. But right now the whole thing is getting all these Marvel series made and connecting them to the movies and then bringing in more Avengers. So that's where they're going to stick with.
Okay, I got you. That's all the questions I have specifically for Marvel. Although, I have one question that could be covered in either DC or Marvel. So are there any what characters who are who were once sidekicks but they're their own their own person in of themselves?
Robin.
Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dick Grayson became Nightwing and then had his own thing and also leader of the Teen Titans.
But literally, if you've seen,
I mean, hell, right now, sidekicks from MCU, Bucky. Bucky's having his own show with Falcon.
but if anybody has grown from sidekick to full-on leader, it's been Dick Grayson. Mainly because if you've seen Teen Titans Bad Blood, you see Dick Grayson become
No,
Bruce
it's
Wayne.
Batman Bad Blood.
Oh, did
It's
it?
Batman Bad Blood. Teen Titans would have had Teen Titans. You're thinking Teen Titans versus the Justice League. Or Teen Titans Judas Contract.
Judas Fist, that's it. I was thinking because that one had Brother Blood. That's where I got confused. Yeah,
it's Batman Bad Blood.
Mhm.
Then it shows the Bat family with Batwing, Batwoman, Robin, and Dick Grayson as Batman.
Yeah, but in the Judas Contract, you actually see Dick Grayson become the full Bruce Wayne leader. And if you all know this, technically
Judas Contract, he was not.
No, but at the end, he literally was running it like Bruce Wayne because he had that leadership.
Yeah,
and
but not right. We're gonna go on a tangent. We're just here to answer these questions.
I'm just saying.
I know. But yeah, mostly Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Which one should I answer? All right. Which two heroes from the DC universe, I just scribbled the question in, and I forgot how to parse it. The first crossover, not the first part. I mean, it's not a crossover if it's in universe, but which was the first meeting between two superheroes is what I'm asking.
I would go with World's Finest Batman Superman Adventure because that was the first major animated crossover to hit TVs in the 90s. Because you remember that brought Batman and Superman, the series, together, and then it brought Joker and Lex Luthor as the main villains. But then that actually blew off into a full series of the Batman Superman Hour. So I consider that because that was really the first major crossover animated version back in the 90s. And that literally went hard because you saw Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent and then meet, and then their alter egos meet, and then Batman put Superman straight up on there, when he just said out of nowhere, "It's not a problem, Clark. How can you because he uses X-ray to find out that Batman was Bruce Wayne, but Bruce Wayne already called him out. Oh yeah, Clark." And he's like, "Wait, how did you think I haven't been studying you for these long years?" But then it also gave the hints of the Justice League, which comes later. But they wanted to make a Justice League out of that, but that never happened until the Justice League cartoon came down later in the line. But it did take hints of the old series and actually put them in later down the line.
Okay. Alright, so how many Earths are there in the DC universe?
Infinite.
Right, Crisis on Infinite Earths.
There's infinite Earths, Steve.
I mean, there used to be 52, but then the next Flashpoint happened. Now there's infinite.
Okay. If this one's an opinion-based thing. If you were to add a character to the Justice League,
I'm gonna stop right there. Everyone's in the Justice
Yeah,
League.
everyone has been
Everyone's
in the Justice
League.
It's just like Avengers, man. Everybody has been an Avenger once. Everybody's been in the Justice League once.
Yeah.
okay. I'm out of questions because one of them I asked, you immediately like led up to another question that I was gonna ask, but like that already covered it. I'm completely.
What
out.
was it? I just want to know.
Like how are Batman, Batgirl, Batwoman are affiliated with each other? Are they like the same family, or
He adopts them. So the Bat Family, it's either they grab their own costume, become it, and try to help Batman. Some of them are just doing their own thing, and somehow they're scared of the bat, so they get the bat. Some of them are just a fan. Or, in Tim Drake's case, he figured out who Batman was. It was like, put me in it, I will tell the world.
Well, okay. So just jumping off that. So main thing is the Bat Family is technically the equilibrium of the new generation, but also brings balance to Bruce's life. Because you know, Bruce Wayne started out all alone just with Alfred. Literally, and there were times when Alfred said, maybe we should think of bringing people in. You can't do this forever. Like, you are going to pass or sadly, worst case scenario, get killed. And then the first thing was, well, if I bring someone in, then I'll have to fear for them. And main thing with it was, of course, it started with Dick Grayson, because mainly Dick Grayson suffered the same tragedy as Bruce Wayne, losing his parents.
In a circus.
Yeah, well, they got in and out. But he saw that, and he actually wanted to be like the Alfred to, like, Alfred was to Bruce after he lost his parents. So he actually adopts Dick Grayson, and, Dick Grayson actually finds the Batcave, and then he actually tells Dick, hey, are you willing to help us? Help me.
And then becomes a dick of a dad. There's only one legit son that not through adoption, but a legit son, and that. Fuck! I just lost the.
Damian.
Thank you, Damian Wayne.
Yes, but literally, here's the thing that they never tell you until Injustice in the comics. Batman always thought of Dick Grayson as the son he always wanted.
Yep.
So that's the thing. But then, like,
then he died.
Spoilers. But still, okay. But so then you said the affiliation. So Batgirl technically, with her father, figured it out and made her own costume, and then actually met Bruce Wayne, and he took her under his wing and challenged.
It took a while, but then he did.
But then, like Hollow Otaku said, Tim Drake figured it out and wanted to be part of the team.
He got through blackmail, essentially.
True. Then we have.
But Bruce is like, you got detective skills. Let's go.
And then, of course, Red Hood, who's brought back. And at first he wants to kill him, but then he brings him back.
Yeah, rewind all that. Jason Todd is the second Robin, and he's the first Robin to die by the Joker, by crowbar.
Thanks to the fans. Remember, the fans had a shot, but technically it worked out in the end.
Yeah. And then he got brought back from the Lazarus Pit. With the Lazarus Pit, can bring heal anything, and also can bring back the dead. And then what K1 said, let's kill the Bat. Also in the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And then just he did his own thing, but like occasionally will help. If you want to find out, no, never mind.
Okay.
Under the Red Hood is not on Netflix, but if you want to see The Killing Joke is going on Netflix October 15th, and today is October 11th.
Nice. But so then going back to the family, so like the one rule of the Bat family is he has brought the whole family together and said, for like better purposes, you are free to do whatever you want, but the rule is we don't kill, and if you kill, I will hunt you down. So they all stick to that rule. So that's what Red Hood and Batwoman literally had to learn of not killing. So they have mainly stun pistols, so they all know how to fight, because literally, out of everybody in the Bat family, with the only exception of Dick Grayson, who's literally the only Robin to beat Batman in hand-to-hand combat, like the only other people who can actually handle Bruce Wayne are Catwoman and Jason Todd. And then for like just like to wrap that up, so like the other things is Batwing and well, this one's a mix-up of Huntress and then Catwoman. Because Huntress in one universe is their daughter, but Huntress is actually like
student of Wildcat who comes in and learns from Batman and actually joins the family. And then, of course, Catwoman, who literally, is technically the mother. I don't care what anybody thinks. She is the mother of the Bat family. Screw Talia al Ghul. Just saying. So, that's just the Bat family in a nutshell.
Any other questions, remarks?
That's pretty much it.
Alright guys, on that note, that is it for the Struggle Session podcast. Thank you, Y Square, for the questions, and hopefully we answered good. You're liking to the answers? A little bit knowledgeable?
I'm pretty satisfied with it.
That's good. Alright guys, I'm Hollow Otaku, and as always, keep moving forward. We will see you guys in the next video.
And remember to get the hashtag rolling. NXL for G4. We're still going to go for that.